Good morning, everybody. This is vlog like 5 or 6. I'm not really sure. Okay. I don't have a layout. I don't have an outline. I'm going to freestyle this one. It's going to be a good one because I got, better recording equipment. I got an Audio Technica AT 2020 yesterday at the swap meet. I've got the Focusrite Scarlett Studio. I like the condenser mic that the Solo Studio came with, but I like the Audio Technica better. I would rate the Scarlett MK 233 or what. I'm not sure what that one's called, but I'd rate the Scarlett about a 6.5, and I'd rate this Audio Technica almost a 9. I'd say an 8.5. I really like the sound, the complete depth, and the range and detail on the Audio Technica, whereas the Scarlett sounds just a little too one-dimensional and too linear for me, just straight to it and just kind of like duffs. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll leave it at that. So anyways, we're going to be talking, per usual, thoroughbred horse racing. Okay, I got this at the swap meet too. I really like this. So let's see. First things first. So I am officially a partial owner. You can't convince me otherwise. A filly I have partial stake in, elevated, raced at Saratoga. Let's see, what was that? Saturday, 2 days ago. It's Monday, July 27th. It's 8 a.m. here on the West Coast. I'm in LA County, Los Angeles, right here by the port of Los Angeles in San Pedro. So, the filly elevated. She raced Saturday morning, race 1 at Saratoga. Junior Alvarado was riding her. She's trained by William I. Belmont. And, as a partial owner through my racehorse, I'm not too, in the loop with, pre-race strategies or whatever Mott and Alvarado go over, or what the team really is, I'd say tactically planning, right? I do get updates through the app, but they're not detailed in that manner. So if I could predict or guess what, Bill told Junior, was probably let her run. Just when the gate opens, just let her do her thing and see what happens, right? Personally, I go into every single race with the mentality that my horse needs to win regardless, and that's, end of story. And I cross that bridge after the race, whether or not, they won or not. I usually don't even go that far into mentally breaking it down. It's just my horse needs to win, right? I need to make money as an owner, period. That's it. And so it is my belief that, the team decided as a whole that we were just going to let Elevated do her thing, blast out the gate. She led the whole way. It was a 6 furlong race on dirt. So she led basically from the very beginning. She got ahead early, went all the way up to the turn, led, I'd say, almost to a furlong. I'd say like 4 to 5 furlongs she was leading. And then it was really cool, right? She showed a lot of grit. At the end, on the last straight, Introcious I believe her name, half sister to Lady Gervin. Both their sires are Gervin. Um, she was, battling 1 and 2 with Intruscious, and she didn't want to let go. She did not want to let go of that lead. I could tell, she started, she had blinkers on, but she was, I believe she was on the inside. She was looking, and she did not want to let it go. I did cross country. So like when I'm sprinting and I'm giving it my all and I know I'm about to gas myself, all that lactic acid is going to hit and I'm going to crash. You have this one little push that you can give, which is like the ultimate, like, I got to get out of here because, whatever is going to get me, right? That fight or flight thing. She gave that one last push and then she had to back off. So was I upset? No, I was at work. I was putting away boxes. I was getting boxes and putting them on a pallet. And, my boss was like 50 yards behind me in the warehouse. He could hear me screaming, "Go, baby, go." And, she came in fourth and I went straight back to work. I was not upset whatsoever. I'll give you an example, right? Monarchos, I'd say one of the most elite horses in my generation, for the sole fact that him and Secretariat are the only two horses to go sub 2 minutes in the Kentucky Derby, right? He got 8th place his first race. And then there's Seabiscuit, right? I've heard stories that he didn't really click until way later in his career. So am I, disheartened or feel let down that she got 4th and didn't win her race and is not going to go undefeated like her dad, Flightline? No, not at all, right? Always, I have that mentality, on to the next furlong. We're not going to dwell on, the first race. But like I said, am I upset or am I disheartened or am I let down that she did not win? Not at all. I think it's a great learning experience. I think that the trainer and the jockey did a fine job, right? That's totally fine. And it's up to Elevated to connect the dots because she's got it right here. She's a competitor. She's fierce. I keep telling people this, but Junior Alvarado, the jockey, says she went out like a stick of dynamite. I agree. She's a little firecracker. She's got what it takes to be great. She's just got to connect the pieces in her mind. She's got to make it work for her. Okay. So I believe in the team. I believe in what they're doing. I believe in what Bill's doing up there at Saratoga or wherever his stable's at. Because I'm here on the West Coast. I'm more familiar with Santa Anita. But, that's her, right? That's Elevated. And then I have partial stake in Helios. He's down here in Southern California, closer to me. So I have, my focus split, I'd say 50-50 between the filly and the colt, Elevated and Helios. So Helios, I can't give you all the information, but I will give you some. And let's see, basically he's doing breezes right now. He's about the same age. I'd say he's about 10. Well, they all consider, the spring babies or the 24s, or whatever you want to say, the foals, whatever, the horses, they all have the universal birthday. If they're born in the northern hemisphere, it's January 1st. If they're born in the southern hemisphere, it's August 1st. But I like to look at their real birthdays. Helios is 10 days, I think, younger, 10 or 12 days younger than Elevated. Elevated is born April 12th. Helios is born April 22nd of 24. So they just turned 2. And Helios is doing his breeze workouts. They start him off low, and then they gradually increase them. I'd say from my experience from owning, I just started owning in January, so I'll just give you what I know, right, off of one horse. Basically, what they did with Elevated is they do like one furlong workouts, then like two, then three, and then like once they start locking in like times that the trainer feels comfortable with at 4 furlongs, they'll most likely put them into a maiden claiming race at a 6 furlong race, right? And then if they do well, they can go up to a mile on the second race. That's from the research that I've done. So Helios is starting to do like 2 and 3 furlong workouts. I think he'll probably start racing, and that's 100% up to the trainer, but he'll probably start racing. I could see him starting in a couple months when Santa Anita opens up on September 25th, or possibly earlier at Del Mar, because Del Mar is open now. And then I'm just throwing this out there, Los Alamitos is open, okay? And they have the night races. From what I feel, Los Alamitos is really well known for quarter horse racing, which is awesome. But I'm more a thoroughbred guy. They also have thoroughbred racing, and take that with a grain of salt. I haven't been to Los Alamitos, but when you take into consideration that Santa Anita does not do quarter horse races, from what I know, Los Alamitos does. So that is definitely a niche that they have, and they also do thoroughbred. But like I said, Los Alamitos is unique in that aspect that they run quarters, which is awesome. Okay. Let's see. I will not, like I've said in previous episodes, I will not be buying shares at all until, I won't even consider it until after the Triple Crown, after the Belmont of 27. So we're looking at like 10 more months, 10, 11 more months where I'm just not buying shares at all. I'm going to have 100% of my focus in what I got right now, which is Elevated and Helios. And I'm going to learn the game. I'm going to keep, doing my research, watching. I've been really, really studying the right lead, the left lead, how they go in, how their hoofs touch the dirt or the turf on the turns, and how they air switch out on the straights, and when they switch from the, because they're doing counterclockwise turns here, mostly right here in the States. So what I noticed is naturally the horses go into a left lead when they're going around the turn, right? It's right, left, on the back and the front, right, left, when they're going around the turns. And on the straights, I'd say 90% from what I researched, air switch or switch back into the right lead, where it's left, right. And so, I pick up little nuances on footwork and how the horses move in and out and find the space, right? Because they say like race horses are like water. They're gonna find the empty space or the open space and flow to it. So footwork and tactics and agility is really crucial in thoroughbred horse racing, because those little split-second decisions where you need to maneuver or maybe take a bump when you're on the rail, or just that like the strong pass turns and cannons, and that comes from really good training and a really, really strong diet, like a really good diet of the hays, the grasses. If you're doing like the trainers are doing like corn, or there are like totally legal like minerals and vitamins that you can give the horse, and but up here I'm focusing on like hay, hey, whether it's like Timothy alfalfa, like Bermuda grass, whatever, just hey, right? That strong, like tendons and ligaments and just muscles and lean muscle mass is going to come a lot from just the diet, and then obviously working really hard and really solid rest. So a trainer has a really hard job, and it's really intricate and complicated, right? Think of like a Rolex or a Patek Philippe or an AP, or I'll throw a Jacob watch in there. It's like a very complicated, complex watch. That's what like a trainer's mind is, right? Because they have to push the horse not past exhaustion, but almost to that limit, so it's ready come race day, and it doesn't, get gassed before the finish line. It's gotta basically end on an empty tank, but not get empty before the finish line. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. That's my take. So, that's like 16, 17 minutes right here. Let me see if I have anything else I want to talk about, because I'm gonna probably end this right here. Just a quick update. I've been doing music. I'm gonna be getting a studio. I'm looking at a studio on Wednesday, so I'm gonna continue the vlog podcast from the studio, and the sound is gonna go up, and the quality is gonna be a lot higher, and yeah, I'm gonna continue doing this. I'm gonna continue doing my music. If you want to check out my music, it's High Treason Gang on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube Music. I'm on Instagram. I'm on a lot of streaming platforms, Pandora. I'm on the iTunes store, all that. Shout out to DistroKid. Let me see here. Racing. That's it. I hope everyone, is staying mentally focused throughout their days and getting good sleep. And, I'll just end on this, and you guys should know this by now. When I had nothing really going on and I needed something to grab onto, I guess, and get me through whatever I was going through, I found Thoroughbred horse racing, and I credit a lot to the jockeys, man. There's something about running a mile or going a mile with no wheels, no engine, no battery pack, no gasoline. There's something about going, a mile in 2 minutes, right, with no wheels, on flat surface. There's just something about that I think jockeys will know what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about being addicted to speed. It's more of like a good stress, like eustress. There's distress and there's eustress. I think it's a good stress feeling, and that was what I was seeking. Is not guidance, because I don't follow anybody. I believe a true follower follows nothing, but I like being around that energy, and I think that jockeys have that. I'll call it the right stuff. All right, take care. Bye.